What's the way? What's the word? What's the haps? Girls a LARPer here, fellas, and I guess it's that time of the day. It's time to LARP. Every day's a LARP if you really think about it. I can't wait to tell you guys about my thesis on LARPing. It's a big thing of mine, something I take passionately, something I know in my soul that we all have to do at one point. Anyways, I'm really taking the piss. I'm trying to do something else here, and I'm trying to have a paper in front of me. You know what I'm saying? I have all of my points, all of my ducks in a row, so we can speak here with confidence. Maybe not with confidence, but at least we can speak here in a way where it's organized, it doesn't sound like shit, and it doesn't end up like rambling. I say all this, and I waste the first fucking minute not even going anywhere. Well, kinda. I don't know. How's everybody doing? All right. I know I say I don't want to ramble, but I think I need to vent. At the same time, it's not even like any of this shit matters anyway. So fuck organization anyhow. But yeah, my voice is starting to heal up a little bit. There's a tinge of raspiness here and there, but it's not as bad as I guess yesterday and the day before. You know, if I can make myself laugh, you can hear like a, I don't know. Now I'm forcing it. But like, if I had to really hit the high pitch notes, like, I'm not gonna test that. But you guys, if I had to, do all that, my voice still be, it's not 100%, but it's getting there. I still have the raspiness and all of that. I sound stupid. But yeah. Anyways, today my highlight was work, and my highlight for many of my days for a long time is gonna be work. My cubicle job, my corporate job, where I am an accountant of sorts. I guess this is a life I am meant to lead. A very sedimentary, what the fuck am I talking about over here? Like rocks? Sedentary, I don't know how to say that word, holy shit. Sedimentary? No, sedimentary is a science term. Okay, see, this is the type of shit, like, fuck, hang on, I gotta pause. Sedentary, the word sedentary. I'm living a very sedentary life now, where I fucking go to my cubicle at 9 in the morning, and I sit there till 4 in the afternoon. And it's like that for now. You know, eventually we're gonna be there till 5 p.m., and then the days will come where I gotta be there till 6 p.m., and it's gonna be great. I say sedentary life, but I'm just saying that because it's like, I'm thinking of like SpongeBob. You know that fish? Or I guess, was it Squidward? Oh, fuck me, I forget. I was thinking of Norman. Hi, I'm Norman. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, Squidward, he lives the same life every day. That's me right now. That's my phase of life. You know what I'm saying? When my dad was my age, Christ, I don't know. I'm sure he was going on adventures in the Philippines. That's where we're from. You know what I'm saying? When my ma was my age, I'm sure she was doing the same thing. So now, they bathed me here in Brooklyn, and I moved to New Jersey a year after, and my life has been destined for this. Coming home after a good old 7-hour shift, and having to sit my ass here until something better happens. And by something better, we're probably referring to a promotion here in the same firm, where my life becomes even more black and white and boring. I'm not trying to shit on it. I'm not trying to be, unappreciative of the gifts that I have, right? There's a lot of assholes out there that don't have a job. There's a lot of cocksuckers out there that are stuck in the same position. There's bitches out there selling ass to get a plate of eggs. And there's guys out there eating ass. Men's ass, maybe. Who knows? People are out there eating ass. They're doing things with the rectum that they shouldn't be doing. And they're doing this for what? A toothbrush? There's people in prison. There's people out there who are in a relationship that's dying. I know my fair share of that. There's people out there that haven't woken up. They're stuck in the hospital. I could go on all day. You gotta practice gratitude. It's something I'd like to elucidate on in a further log, video, whatever. But the key thing is, I'm not trying to shit on my position in life. I have it very good, fellas. My job is great. Not everybody can have what I have, okay? Not everybody has what I got. You know what I'm saying? I got a car, brings me to point A to point B. It works. It's in mint condition, I guess, as far as that goes. I got friends. I know I didn't. I am struggling with maintaining these relationships, especially as we all grow up and hack on more responsibilities and move forward with life. But I'd like to say that this is a good life. I can't complain about it. I mean, I just did. But I guess what I'm trying to say is more so, I still point out the stuff that makes me nervous. The stuff that makes me anxious. It's still there. All right. It's around the corner. A lot of it. I'm terrified, fellas. I'm terrified of the implications of a lot of the things that I'm going to be going through in the future. I'm 23. I'm 23, and a lot of people who are older than me, the shit I'm going through, even the people who are older than me by 6 months maybe, or by a year. Those guys, they would laugh at my position. You know what I'm saying? They would find what I'm going through laughable. And that's not to say that, your life sucks. No, those guys are laughing at me because they wish they could go back in time and deal with these issues that I'm fucking picking up right now. I used to do a thing back in the day where I would record into this voice recorder for about 5 minutes a day, at least. A minimum of 5 minutes a day. It would be a log. And, my dumbass should have saved it or uploaded it to something like YouTube. You know what I mean? I don't know. Something like that. I don't know. But I'm sitting on about 2 years worth of content here, and I got nowhere to upload it. It's probably gonna delete itself if I lose the USB, the flash drives, the phone. My point being here is that if I could go back in time and listen to myself at this exact day, what is today? At least right now, in the time of this recording, it's the 16th. The 16th of June, 2026. If I could go back to the 16th of June, 2024, 16th of June, 2025, the problems that I had a year ago, 2 years ago, vastly, vastly different than the shit that I'm going through right now. And that's what I was saying before. The issues that you're going through, they don't get better. I think what realistically happens is a bigger problem overshadows it. And that main issue loses the limelight, and it becomes a thing that you wish you had in the past. And I don't want to say that this stuff is in the past either. I mean, it could be concurrently happening, but maybe sometimes we're happier that we only... I mean, this is the first world problem type shit. Wishing that I was, in a relationship. There's assholes out there that, wish that the parents were still next to them. Think about Gaza. How many of those kids wish they had a limb or something, And I'm not trying to... I don't want to... See, that's the hard part about saying shit like that. It's, when you point out other people's issues, you tend to take away from your issues. But at the same time, that is just what happens in life. Not only are other people going through bigger things, but at the same time, you do eventually evolve within yourself. And you end up just growing up after a certain point. And you realize that the shit you're going through right now, it doesn't really matter. Jesus Christ. There's going to be a time where I have maybe to deal with the responsibility of taking care of a family. Who knows? Maybe I do find my wife. And she wants to have kids. And she says to me, let's have kids, but, I'm not feeling too good and I can't work now. You're going to have to be the only one who provides anything. Maybe that's how it was back then, but in this economy, not to mention, 5-10 years in the future, I'm going to end up wishing, holy shit, I wish I was single for the rest of my life, then I wouldn't have to deal with this. Oh, you remember when the only thing I cared about was worrying if I could pay off student loans? Now I have to worry about paying off the house mortgage, or my medical bill when I'm older, who knows? And the time will come when I'm like 60, 80. And the only thing I wish is having done better things with my time. I guess it's going to be a consistent thing I'm nervous about. I'm terrified that the shit that I'm doing with my life isn't good enough. That is to say, like, the shit that I'm doing with my life is mediocre. I'm not trying to fucking cure cancer. I'm not trying to do any of that. But what I want to do, I guess, is I want to do something that makes, I guess, me happy and others happy. I want to have some sort of life fulfillment. I want to achieve my own peace, you know? You know, I'm making a big decision in my life. I guess that's what's so pressuring about your 20s. You know, it's a double-edged sword. You know, you're either ready to go or you're not. It's a weird thing being 20, I think. I observed it. I've only been 3 years into it, so I'm very much a young adult. So don't take anything I'm saying seriously. But what I'd say is the thing I'm going through, the things I'm observing at this age as a whole, is that your 20s are supposed to be your scratch pad. It's supposed to be the only decade that blurs correctly where you can fuck up. You're allowed to. You have every right in the world to fuck up now when you're 20. And then after that, I don't know. I don't want to say it's the same thing for your 30s, but the leniency is not as much. Not only is it harder for you to bounce back, but, you know, your money's down. You're supposed to have these responsibilities that from which you have learned from in your 20s. And I guess I'm trying to say that I'm terrified at the prospect that I'm not using my 20s correctly. Because I've already jumped myself into this cubicle type shit. I'm telling myself if I just suck it up over here in this farm and keep my head down and take all the work that they give me, that eventually by the time I'm 30, fingers crossed, I'm set. I met a guy who, the moment I think he's 24, 25, maybe something like that, maybe 26. And he just got to that point where he got hired full-time at a different position in my firm. You know, he just finished his bachelor's, and you know, he's telling me he's ashamed that he's too late, that he's old. And I laugh every time somebody tells me that it's too late for them to get a degree. Of all things, of all the things that it's too late for you to do, I don't think it's too late for you to get higher education. I'm not, you know, I don't really know what my stance is on higher education these days, especially with you know, the student loans or the return on investment. I'd argue it's definitely worth it if you choose the right degree, but I also don't want to be a... Point is, regardless of what you choose in the degree, higher education, the prospect of it, it's not something that is locked up behind class anymore. I think, if anything, it's probably the most accessible it's ever been. Now, a lot of people will probably argue, what with tuition and all that, but, you know, think about community college, or even the fact that if you really do apply, you could get into these scholarships and grants. They give those away like candy these days. Even my stupid ass got one. FAFSA does exist. I mean, I'm not saying it's the best way to go about it, because that's how you get an entire generation locked up in debt. And, you know, I do have my reservations about that as a principle. But of all the things that you could be delayed for or late for, is the last thing in my mind is college. And here's why. I mean, I graduated in 2025. And beside me was this woman who would actually show up to a lot of my classes. You know, at the time that I met her, I bumped into her, I think I was like 20. And I know this lady, because she would be in all of my classes. And she was probably 40, 50. And she would open up her laptop.
and it would be her sons in the background. And her sons weren't no 6-year-olds, 8-year-olds. No, they looked like our age. Many times I go to this college and I would see, and this is a public college, I would see a lot of old people going to classes with me. But this lady, she graduated with me. My ma, she's doing her bachelor's right now. She always tells me, oh my God, I feel like I'm so late, but I'm so liberated because I'm finally doing it. She's telling me, and I guess this is why I'm terrified that I'm not doing enough or anything like that, or I'm too late. I guess that's the prospect. My mom keeps hammering it into me that I'm wasting my time. Wasting my time doing what? You know, before I used to work in a liquor store for 2 years, just about under 2 years. And for 2 years, I had worked minimum wage at the liquor store from my junior year in college, past graduation, to literally a month ago. My entire time, my mom just kept rattling it in my head. You're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. I got my degree, but I'm still wasting my time. And, and it was a harsh thing being an accountant with a degree in a liquor store for about a year after I graduated. Don't get me wrong. You want to talk about imposter syndrome. That was the time. But ultimately speaking, I got through it. I got through it pretty good. And like I said, God answered my prayers. And I ended up getting my current job. And now, in my current job, they're fucking me up the ass. Let me tell you about today. Let me tell you about this job, I guess. Not even just today. I mean, it's been my month, and it's going to be my month anniversary this Thursday, okay? The 18th. I've been in this job for about a month. And I have never had a moment where I have never been so overwhelmed. I don't think I've ever had a moment of respite. Lunch is my only hour in the day I get off. I come back to my desk, more work to do. And I'm telling myself, holy shit, I'm gonna die in this job, man. It's only my first month, I can't hack it. Today was especially much so. My job, it requires an approval process. So essentially, I got a team of people who approve the work I do. Shit, just when I thought I was getting the hang of it, today was just one of the worst days I've ever had. I don't know if it was something in the air. I don't know if I got enough sleep. But at the very least, I can say I was being rushed. Out of nowhere, so much shit hit me. The reason why it's all funneling down is because somebody else is leaving. People have been leaving this department of my job, and we're very understaffed. And it has been up to me and the rest to pick up the load. I'm not saying this is all on me. That's the best part, I guess. The silver lining, if you will. Everybody is getting it up the ass. And there's a comfort in that, I guess. It's a reassuring thing. I don't know, maybe that's not the right way to look at it, but the entire ship is sinking. There's nobody, not even the manager, there's nobody who's having a good time. But what's worse is the people who couldn't help me bear the load, they're leaving. They're going out to vacation, or they're leaving the department entirely. So as a result, it's all on my back. And today was the first lick of that shit pile. I don't know how I got home today. You know how ridiculous I sound complaining about, of all things, a cubicle job? Back in the day, I used to worry that the drunk that I was selling in the liquor store, selling the alcohol to, would freak out and lash on me, or follow my car, or a drunk asshole would break into my car, or destroy it. You know what I'm saying? I'd always be terrified of that. Now, oh my God, I can't handle all the work on my back. Look, it's overwhelming. And I guess that's exactly what I was trying to say. I don't like saying shit like this because it takes away from one thing. Your feelings are valid no matter what. Okay? Because they're your feelings. Now, if you want to apply logic, it's a different thing. But yeah, your feelings are always valid, I'd argue. Because they're your feelings, you know? You can't hate what you feel. Fuck all that Ben Shapiro bullshit. Fakes don't care about your logic. I guess that's true, but It's still valid to feel a certain way about something. Always, it's still valid. I'm not just saying that to justify myself. I just want everybody, if there is one person listening, I don't know. It's important for you to know that your feelings are always valid. Don't feel that because somebody's struggling more than you, or you're struggling less than somebody else, that you don't get to feel angry, sad, happy, etc. Don't ever let anybody else take that away from you, you know? Anyways, point being, I got a lot of work to do, man, and I'm dealing with this. Today was the first worst day of my life for this freaking job. And I'm thinking they're gonna fucking hang me by the rafters today. Seriously. I mean, Jesus. I think every little invoice I sent in, it got rejected by the approval process, and I handed in 5 or 4. And each one of them got rejected. None as bad as the check I handed in. Jesus, that got rejected for all kinds of reasons. And I read the reasons why, my own. Probably the most obvious reasons. Now you gotta tell myself, Christ, I was rushing. But at the same time, I don't got no choice but to rush. Because I got more invoices coming out of my left. I got them training me on my right. They want a meeting in the middle. It's all up my ass. And I tell myself, fuck me, Lord. I don't think this is something I'm supposed to be paid $21 for. And I gotta shut the fuck up for a moment, because at the same time, in the liquor store, I was only being paid $16. There's assholes out there that ain't even working for that much. They're doing harder work. There's blue collar workers out there losing fingers and breaking backs. And those guys probably get paid fucking peanuts. Not to mention, those guys actually have shit to do and pay for, like family and rent and medical bills. Me, I only got the student loans. Still live with mommy and daddy. Nothing I'm ashamed of, because in this economy you might as well be. You better be. But real talk, I don't have to worry about certain expenses apart from maybe car maintenance, aka fuel, every week, and that's it, really. Student loans soon. Let's not do any until the end of the month, but until the end of the year. But that's something I'm trying to build the fund for, to have a cushion. My point is, I keep telling myself, if I keep sucking this up, it's the first month, it's hell. One or two things could happen. I could be like that fucking phoenix. I could rise through the fucking ashes, and I end up doing all this work, and it ends up doing good. You know what I'm saying? It ends up benefiting me. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger type shit. And I don't die. I end up becoming promoted or given a full-time position somewhere else. The experience that I had over here translates well into a different place. Maybe they even like me, at the very least. And I don't know. I don't know what God has to say about this. Yes, I'm very religious. I don't know what God has to say about this. I don't know what Christ is teaching me through all of this. But I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to see it for a better view. But I think maybe I even asked for this, I keep forgetting that I ask for this all the time. I say, Lord, I'm tired of wanting a relationship with, I don't know, a magical woman who's going to come down in the middle of my life and hold me, embrace me. Tell me I'm strong, smart, beautiful, I don't know, confident, charismatic. I'm tired of waiting for that stupid fantasy, thinking that she'll be in the gym, or she'll be at work, or she'll be the bitch I bump into, and Route 22, who the fuck knows? It's over. It's over. I don't want to do this. I don't want to keep yearning for somebody who doesn't exist. There's stories I've had in the past about, I guess that I could elaborate on about romance and all that, but I feel like that's been done time and time again. No shit, there's something in the air. They say it's a male loneliness epidemic, you know what I'm saying? Maybe that does exist. I don't know. I'm a man, I'm lonely, but I'm not going to say everybody other man is lonely too. I mean, like I said, I feel like every guy I bump into has a fucking girlfriend. Maybe it's just the gyoza LARPer loneliness epidemic, huh? My point is, I don't want to fucking yearn for this shit anymore. So I prayed. I says, Lord, just fuck me up. Drown me in work. I don't care if I get paid the right amount. I don't give a shit. I just want to stop thinking about stupid shit. I want to stop thinking about dumb shit. Dumb, stupid shit. Oh, does this girl like me? Is there gonna be a girl that likes me? What the fuck does that matter? God damn it. Being single is its own utopia. That's something I heard from, of all people, Bill Burr, another comedian. Of all the people to say something wise, it was Bill Burr. I'm not saying he's a dumbass, but of all the aphorisms that I picked up, it was that. Being single is its own utopia. And yeah, being in a relationship is too. The grass is greener on both sides, but the point is, you got it good while you got it good. Being single, I guess, it has its fucking, advantages. It has its positives and its negatives, but, at the same time, it can really get up your ass, don't you think? I mean, there is no worse time to be single than 11 p.m. When you really got jack shit to do but stay up and really just hate yourself for a long time. You know what I'm saying? You just sit there and you stew in your own shit. And when it gets quiet, it gets loud. Idle time, idle hands, the devil's workshop. And you just sit still and you think, fuck me. I shouldn't have done my ex that way. My ex fucked me over. She hurt me. She abused me. Maybe I should have just sucked it up and stayed with her. You see, you start thinking dumb shit, man. And you shouldn't. But that's 11 p.m. when you're single, when you're lonely. And it feels like it's been a year. I mean, it has been, but it feels like it's been a decade. Really, though, it's only been like a couple of months. It's really not that bad. It's not that terrible. I'll be frank with you. It sucks, but it's only been a year and a half. So, I mean, like, this is something we better get used to. I should probably really feel the pressure if I'm 25. I'd say is a good mark. 25, maybe 26, 27. 27 for sure. Then I think it's over. Then I think it's really bad. I think, fuck me. I'm 27. I'm gonna be 30 in 3 years. I don't have romance at all. I can't say I'm not trying neither. Like, I'm giving it a shot. I've been talking to some girls, but right now, it's been about 2, 3, 4 months since I've given a shot because I've just been really discouraged. I feel like all the ladies I bumped into, I'm not saying ladies in general, Jesus, put your fucking hands down. I'm just saying ladies in general right now. I'm saying ladies because I'm a straight man, fuck you. Ladies right now that I'm dealing with, they don't really want anything. And that's a terrifying prospect because eventually they're going to lock in 25, 26, 27, just like me. And I'm worried that the girls that are going to talk to me, they're going to have a past of regrets. I mean, none of us are free from sin, but Jesus, I don't know. There's a line to be drawn. The problem is when a girl goes around, or a guy too. I don't know. I mean, I'm not into guys, but I'm just saying in general. I'm trying to be fucking. You guys get the point. Ladies that have a past, anybody who has a past, means that they're thinking about the past. You think about your past. It is what it is. You do it. What are you gonna do? That's life. I think about my past. Okay. I don't know a single person that doesn't. My ex is probably thinking about me. Maybe not as much as I'm thinking about her, but I'm sure I come up in something. I introduced her to some shit. She introduced me to some shit. So invariably, whenever I bump into something that reminds me of her, I'm gonna think about the past, and I'm terrified of that concept. I'm terrified of that concept because that's probably what's gonna happen with my future spouse. She's probably gonna think, oh, blueberry ice cream. You know, my first ex showed me that. You know, first love theory and all that horse shit that they spout on the internet. Alright, so I just realized it's been 30 minutes of me rambling. I gotta get up in, let's see, about 7 hours. So, you know, hilariously, the script that I had pulled up, not script, I keep saying script, it's not a script. But yeah, the thing that I have pulled up here, you know, the notes that I wrote, the planned, you know, thing that I was gonna do, had nothing to do with what I just rambled about. At a moment it did, and I could have used that as a segue to speak about it, but either way, we hit 30 minutes of yapping. So you know what? I think that's satisfactory for today. Listen, guys, I don't want you guys to think that I'm depressed or anything. I'm, like I said, I got it really good, but it's important, fellas, to stop for a moment and think about what you're going through. It's important. I think it's something you got to do. Yeah. All right. Well, don't really know how else to close this, so all I gotta say is you guys take it easy. Remember, life is more than life is always what you make of it, okay? It's more than the negatives, okay? And it's less than the positives. So, I don't know what the fuck that means. I just pulled that out of my ass just now. You guys take it easy. I don't.